Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? I don't think I've done a reading for you before. I do so many, I'm not sure. But I'd like to explain real quick how this works. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. So I try to describe the picture the best I can. They never waste a message. There is always a reason for whatever they say or they show. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. You'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, oh, I know what she's talking about. This is not exact science, so sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. They won't give me all the details. The details are none of my business. They'll give me just enough so you should understand what they're talking about. I forgot. I've given the speech a million times. You'd think I'd remember, huh? So anyway, it's her show. I'm going to let her do whatever she thinks is and say what's best within reason. And they're usually pretty good. They know my rules. So we're going to talk to your aunt today. She comes in singing, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away." That's an old song, old kind of nursery rhyme song. You probably know it. So go YouTube it, Google it, whatever you want. She's singing it very softly to you, very lovingly. And now she's showing the sun up there. Sorry, when they get close, they make my head itch like I've got head lice or something. It's their energy, for some reason, affects my head. I don't know. Now I'm itching over here. So anyway, she's showing me a sun over here. You were a very bright spot in her life. Very, and you didn't even have to be like, you didn't have to live together, live next door to each other, live in the same town or anything, but there was some kind of special connection the two of you had, kind of almost closer than an aunt, but it was kind of an unspoken bond. Let's call it something like that. You both just knew. You both just clicked. She's very proud of you. She said you kind of took a detour on your path. You didn't go straight down your path. You took this little detour. I call it the scenic route. You ought to see my scenic route. Woo! Out and back in. But it's like a smooth little. So even if you did notice it, I've seen a lot of them. They go way out here and they make a straight shot back. But so I don't know why she's bringing that up, other than she's bringing up scenic route again, because I always call it scenic route. Even when you make your little mistakes in life, where you may head down the wrong way for a little bit, you usually almost always end up right back on your path. You just take a little longer, but you learn lessons along the way. So she said, make sure. And she's showing a bump in that road, the scenic route. It's like when you took the scenic route, like there was this big boulder and you kind of got butted up against it and you couldn't get over it and couldn't get over it and couldn't get over it. Whatever that bump was and whatever clicks in your head is what it was, you'll know what it is. We don't have to say it. That was a very big lesson for you to learn. And it's been coming up a lot in my readings for people. The lessons you learn the most from, lessons you remember, the lessons you don't want to repeat are the ones that kicked you in the ass the hardest and hurt the most. Sucks, doesn't it? That's the way it is. We're here to learn. We're here for our soul's growth. And so whatever that was, instead of kicking yourself in the ass about it, stop and think, what did I learn from this? What do I not want to repeat from this? Do I ever want to take that whoop-de-doo scenic route again and get stuck there for a while? And your soul will say no. If you actually look at it, take it apart and look at it, learn from it, go, okay, I did that. I'm good with it. I'm not perfect. And move on, because you're back on your path. But there's still that little sticky point there that keeps... See, even when I started doing this work and started cleansing out a whole lot of stuff, things came up from when I was 5 years old. And I said, no, I took care of all that stuff. I beat it. No, I didn't. I just stuffed it. So she's not wanting you to stuff it. All those years since I was 5 years old until just a few years ago, I stuffed it. Thought I beat it. Nope, I didn't. And it's still coming back up. Just here in the last couple of years, something came up from that area that had to be healed, that I had to look at and go, but it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. So there's something big about this, a little boulder in the road that she's wanting you to look at. So don't kick yourself in the ass over it. Just sit back and look at it, make friends with it. Say, I did it, move on. She says it will be okay. I love you very much. I want you to heal. I want you to heal from it. And she says, don't dwell on it. Just look at it, make friends with it, heal it, go on. It's time. She said it's time to move past it. Okay, so she's showing a beach and some palm trees. I feel like a Florida-looking scene. It may not be Florida. Don't hold me to the state, but that type of scene. And she's sitting in the shade in a laid-back lawn chair, sipping on a little drink. Cool, relaxed, at peace, peaceful. She's not showing anybody else around her right at this moment. It doesn't mean she's by herself or alone. So not sure why she's showing this. I don't know if you guys went somewhere like this or you were going to go somewhere like that. She's still waiting for you to show up, or something along that line. There's a lot of water though, so I would say it's probably an ocean or a gulf or something like that. It's not a lake or a pond. And if you're thinking about making a trip to someplace like that, or at some place you guys went to, or you talked about going to, go do it. Go do it. Sit there by yourself, find some peaceful time, and sit down and talk to her. I promise you 1,000%, she can hear you, she can see you. Talk to her all you want to. And if you do go to a place like this, and talk to her, and you don't have to talk out loud, you can talk up here. And you talk to her, just notice what goes on around you as you're talking to her, but try to do it alone so nobody's distracting you. And it could be some weird little animal kind of come down out of the tree and look at you, or some bird sit there and chatter its head off, or just, she's not saying for sure, or whether this is even going to happen, or did happen. So I'm not exactly sure where she's going with it. Like I said, it's her show. Now, I've asked them, used to be when I was started doing this, they would show me exactly how they passed. I would feel it, see it, smell it. And I cried every time. So I've asked not to do that anymore unless it's a necessity. So we don't go to the actual moment too much anymore. It's kind of traumatizing for me. But she's showing that basically she went so peacefully. There was no pain. It was just like going to sleep. It was like, and I'm ready, and I'm at peace with it, and I'm good with it. And you hear people all the time that they go, I went towards the light, and I didn't want to come back, and they told me I had to come back. She didn't want to come back, and nobody said that she needed to, and she was fine with that. They taught me before we come here, we have an exit point. We have a predetermined exit point, just like when your number's up. It's kind of a rude way to say it, but you can decide that your exit point is going to be when you're 1 day old or when you're 100 years old. Whatever the timeline is, you're going to leave in that time. It can waver a little bit depending on what's going on with the people around you, what they're going to learn. But it's just the way it is. I don't know why they've not explained that to me, but I just know that's what they've shown me. So when it's time to go, it's time to go. I don't know why. So know that she left in the correct time frame she was supposed to. I don't know that we decide how we're going to leave. I think that might just be determined at some other time, but we do decide when we're going to leave for whatever reason. All right, so she says, now whether this has happened or it's going to happen, she's making me itch. You're going to hear music, and you go to see whether a radio turned on or TV turned on, or if there's somebody outside playing music and you don't find anything. And this is going to happen repeatedly. I hear music, and you go, where's that coming from? And you can't figure out where it's coming from. I don't think that she's playing with a radio. But electronics, light things like feathers and butterflies and things like that, that's easy for them to kind of manipulate that energy. And I always tell people, if you put a big boulder in the middle of your living room and you ask them to move it, that's probably not going to happen. That's hard for them to do with just their energy, because we don't have this anymore. And it's like the music is it's not right in your face. It's like off, kind of like it would be in the next room or something, and you go look around. So pay attention. That's going to be a sign from her, and it can be in the store. It can be in your vehicle. It can be when you're going for a walk. It can be anywhere. And I ask them for unique signs, because everybody knows about the cardinals and stuff. So, and you might even hear it up here. Very possible. So when you hear that music and you can't determine where it's coming from, validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her, and ask her to bring you more. It's a very soft music. It's not like I don't hear any headbanging music or anything like that. It's very soft music. It's like you almost can't hear it. It's so soft. You think you're imagining it. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. And she's holding one balloon. I don't know if you guys have had a balloon release for her. Or you could have even just done a balloon release for somebody else, and she's acknowledging she knows that. Because I'm not sure this is her balloon. It could be. And she's not explaining why she's holding this balloon. Could be you just had a balloon at a birthday party. I hate to make it sound vague, but just not sure what she's trying to validate right now. I always ask them to validate at least a couple of things so you know for sure that we've got your loved one that we're talking to. You're perfect the way you are, and stop thinking any other way. You're perfect the way you are. Everybody's different. Everybody's supposed to be different. You're perfect just the way you are. She's talking about new and improved. So I don't know if you've done something recently that's kind of new for you and it's better for you. She says we can always polish ourselves a little more, but we're still perfect the way God made us. And you need to accept that about yourself. Okay, she's talking about cereal. It looks like Cheerios, the round. You know, it could be one of the other brands, but it's the little like Fruit Loop, only I don't see different colors. I don't know if that's something you guys used to like to eat together. Maybe she fed you those when you were little bitty. Like I used to do my grandkids and daycare kids. You know, get a bowl of Cheerios and get a bag of them, put them down there for you to munch on without milk or anything. I think she's trying to validate herself. Something about your chariot awaits. She's not explaining that one either. I don't know if you're getting a new vehicle or you're ready to move forward. Your chariot awaits, you need to get in it. She's being a little bit vague. A little more vague than I want her to be. How's that? So she draws my eyes down to I have stuff written all over in front of me. There's a movie called Heaven is for Real. It's on Netflix. I haven't watched it yet. I wrote it down because I feel like I need to watch it to see how accurate it is. So I'm not going to say it's going to be accurate because I haven't watched it yet. But she's telling you heaven is for real. She says there is no hell. Now she's walking through your house and she's taking her hair and she's actually grabbing it. It's not like she's flipping it like behind her ear. It's like she grabs it and she's shaking a handful of it as she walks by you. So whatever her hairspray, hair product, shampoo, whatever it was, when she freshly washed her hair, whatever that smelled like, you're going to smell that. You're going to smell that as she goes by and shakes her hair at you. And you'll probably just get a little whiff of it. You can be in the store, you can be outside, you can be in your car, you can be anywhere and smell that. Again, validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her, and ask her to bring you more. Give her permission if you want her to bring you more signs. And a lot of times, the smell is just so quick and slight that you may not catch it, but now that you know, you'll pay attention. Something about a gravy train. No, she's not explaining that either. No, unless you're feeding your dog gravy train dog food. It's about a gravy train. I'm not sure what she means. Get on the gravy train. Get on. Well, she said something about chariot. Your chariot awaits. Now she's telling you to get on the gravy train. So there's some opportunity coming up, and you need to hop on. You need to hop on. It's going to be good for you. Gravy train. I take it as like abundance and maybe money. Doesn't have to be money, but in your chariot, that's an awesome ride. So there's something, but you're going to have to take that step. You're going to have to take the step forward. I mean, you can ask for all the good stuff in the world, but if you just sit in one spot, it's not going to come to you. You got to take that step. Oh, geez, guys, quit. Okay, so she has a very strong presence in your home. She's mainly showing the living room. Doesn't have to be just the living room. But I always tell people, you know how somebody can enter the room, you don't hear them, you don't see them, but you feel them, and you turn around and you go, there's somebody here. But you felt them there, that's why you turned around. If you haven't, you will feel her. And I kind of call it the creeper song. Somebody's watching you. You don't want me to sing, I promise. Especially since I'm just getting my voice back. She says you might like get a chill, like boom, or you might get a bunch of goosebumps. The hair might stand up on your arm. Everybody receives the energy different. We're pure energy when we leave. Our soul is in this body, this vehicle. But when we don't need this vehicle anymore, our soul is still intact. It's energy. It's like quantum physics, which I know nothing about. You can't kill energy. It just changes form. And even though it doesn't really change form, your soul, your spirit, just is pure energy. So you'll feel that energy. Everybody feels it different. You're not going to feel it like I do. So I don't know exactly how you're going to feel her, but it's almost like you feel like somebody's in the room with you, because they are. So, and if that creeps you out or bothers you, tell her you don't like it and ask her to step back. If you feel comfortable with her being there, let her know it's okay. Lots of times I've seen them standing in a corner and they don't know whether they would be welcome or they would scare somebody or whatever if they moved, into the room. So let her know. She can hear you. You don't have to talk out loud. Talk to her. Talk to her all you want to. You're not bothering her. She's going like this. She's ready. She's ready to listen. Ask her for help with something that she was good at. If it's just being a listener, a shoulder to cry on, she's still there. You can still talk to her. It's just a little bit different relationship. So know that she has a very strong, seems like she's usually standing behind you somewhere though. And just kind of standing there watching and observing. And she's very calm, very cool, very collected, very loving. She doesn't feel any need to step forward, but just know that she wants you to know that she's there. She's there for you. So if there's something that you need help with, something she was good at when she was here, I always tell people, if Uncle Joe didn't have a pot to piss in, don't ask Uncle Joe for any kind of financial help, because he didn't understand how it worked here. So what was she good at here as far as helping you or helping others? And ask her to help you with that. Give her permission. They cannot override your free will choice. My guides are always going, geez, Rhonda, what are you doing? That's not the good stuff we gave you. because I have free will choice to say no. And again, she's saying, move on, move on, move on. So there's clearly something you need to step forward into. She's still not saying what it is. So you should know. You know what it is. I don't need to know. It's none of my business. And she's showing the word fear. You're afraid. We're always afraid. We're always afraid of stuff. But, yeah. It's not like we've never failed at something before. That's just another lesson to learn. She's kind of showing you as being alone. Don't know that I feel like she's showing you being lonely, but it's kind of like, what's the words I want to use? Because I don't want to say it wrong. Alone, but not lonely. There's a difference. Alone, you know what you want. Alone, you're okay with it. Alone, it's not like you don't like being around people. It's not like you don't like your friends and family. I don't know if I can explain how she's showing it. You can stand on your own 2 feet. You don't have to have a person to validate you, if that makes sense. She says you are who you are, you know who you are. And that's awesome. She says you're not alone. You're alone. You're not lonely. Like you can feel lonely in a crowd of people that love you circling around you, but it's not like that. You're you're fine with yourself, not by yourself, with yourself. She wants you to know how deeply she still loves you. She's not even showing who she's with up there. Do you have another aunt up there, or does she have an aunt up there? Saying something about an aunt. Not that she's the aunt, another aunt. It's either your aunt or her aunt. But that person is not stepping forward. She's not showing me who it is. So hopefully you'll just know. I just want you to know how much you're loved, and still are. Shoot for that ultimate goal of love. And be happy with yourself. So she's getting ready to leave. I hope she gave you at least a couple things so you can validate, so you know it's her. She's blowing you kisses. She's grabbing her hair and shaking it again. So watch for that smell. She says talk to her. Talk to her all you want to. She's not too busy to listen. And with that, she's leaving. Okay, my dear, thank you very much. Thank you for being patient with me. I did get behind and I lost my voice for a week. My family was happy. It was quiet. My friends were happy. They picked on me. Hey, look, we can pick on Rhonda. She can't talk. Yeah, I talked with a little sign language. Much love to you. Thank you for being patient. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voices for your loved ones. Later.